Okay, so basically this is we're just gonna kind of brainstorm like the next group and then just roll right into the team call too. So feel free definitely to take yourself off mute and ask questions, give thoughts, opinions, that kind of thing. And so basically just to start, like, to brainstorm for this next group that we're going to do starting a week from today. So the 25th is going to be our week of prep. So a week to, like, basically for me, prep week is like get the rest of the people in, like get them to either crap and get off the pot or whatever. But really, like, prep week is like for them, it's going over like the program, meal planning, like all that kind of stuff. And so it is really good for us to maybe like decide on what program we want to do. And I know that it's hard because we're all kind of in different places, and some of us are just starting Transform 20 and some are just finishing it, starting round 2, like all those kind of things. So this is what's hard, but I think if we just all decide like, hey, like 21 Day Fix obviously is a great program because it's 3 weeks. I know, like, I'm still kind of talking to people about Transform 20, and then if they're like, oh, that doesn't look like something for me, then I'm like, okay, well, hey, let's do 21 Day Fix. But I think in terms of like the planning and the posting, and really with everything that's coming with autumn in the next few months, kind of shifting towards 21 Day Fix and 21 Day Fix Extreme might be a good route for us to go in terms of like inviting for people and things. And I know Brittany's had a lot of success lately with people like more interested in 21 Day Fix, right? You've kind of had people that are like, eh.
Yeah, so I reached out to people that said no for Transform 20. And then I also reached back to some of my people that have like kind of fallen off the wagon with their workouts, like just haven't showed up in the challenge group and said, hey, let's try this instead too. So I do have some older people coming back in there, but I am making them have to have Shakeology to be in the group. So that's what I've started to focus on this week, and had a lot of response with it.
Yeah. Kind of going off of that too, for some of you that are just finishing up, like this is your week 6 of Transform 20. Here's what I'm doing with my challengers that are in that group. And if you're in that group with me and you're one of my one of my coaches, you got this email, and I don't know if you read it yesterday or not. But this is what I'm doing moving forward with all those people that are in Transform 20. This week, like Thursday, Friday, I'm going to reach out to them. I'm going to say, hey, do you want to do Transform 20 again? Do you want to jump into our 3-week group and do something different? Or, where are you at? If they want to stay in that Transform 20 group and do another round of Transform 20, they have to have another order of Shakeology or Performance Line go through. If they don't, then I'll say, all right, well, here, and then I have this general group. It's that New Year, Do You. If you're not in there, I can add you in there. But I'm kind of turning that into like my open, continual accountability group. So that's going to be for people that bought BOD. So they get me for a year. They get the support for a year. But if they're not going to continue to use Shakeology, then they're just going to go in this self-paced group. So at the end of the week, I'm going to check in with them and I'll share with you what I'm saying. But I'm basically saying, like, what do you want to do again? If they want to do Transform 20, but they don't purchase Shakeology, all right, awesome. I'm moving you into this group. It's self-paced. There's a daily check-in. You can post in there. I'll still comment on your stuff and support you. But the clients that are continually investing in their health and investing in, they're going to get that more grouped attention or whatever. And then if they're like, well, I don't want to do Transform 20 again, I want to do something different, and they're on Shakeology and stuff, then I'm going to move them into this group that we're starting next week. So that's kind of my plan. So as of right, like starting next week, I personally will have 4 groups that I'm posting in and sharing in and like commenting in and stuff. So I can like make a graphic or break that down a little bit more too, but just kind of going off what Brittany said. And same thing with this group starting on the 25th, everybody that's new in there has to have purchased a challenge pack to get in there, or rolling from this Transform 20 and are active on Shakeology. Hopefully that makes sense.
Do we have to have it as they have to buy a challenge pack? Because I'm having like some of my old people, as long as they're doing Shakeology.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
Just for me, what I've been doing is I did the same thing. I actually dug back to the last, let's see, I reached back to, I think, the last year and a half, like everybody that had purchased something like a challenge pack or whatever. I actually reached all back out to them and was like, hey, I'm starting this new group, like da 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 da. And then, but those people I'm having do either a completion pack or a challenge pack or something like that. But yeah, I mean, you do what you need to do, definitely. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so and then I looked this up really quick because somebody was asking, they're like, what's your plan for Portion Fix, Ultimate Portion Fix? And I'm like, well, I'm still like focused on February and like Transform 20 and getting people signed up. But I did pull some of the dates. And there's a really good FAQ that kind of breaks it down. And again, I have not dove into this because my mind isn't there yet. I'm not ready to focus on that yet. But Ultimate Portion Fix is launching for coaches March 4th. So that means that we can purchase the access to the Ultimate Portion Fix, and then it'll launch for coaches and customers. And again, I don't really understand all the logistics of this, so we'll talk about that maybe next week would be a good time to talk about it. But March 18th is when like your customers and coaches can purchase it. Anybody that purchases the Ultimate Portion Fix then gets access to the real-time remixes of 21 Day Fix and 21 Day Fix Extreme, which start April 1st and April 29th. So we do this 3-week group, and that will run us up to March 24th, and that would give us a week to maybe just do like a fun week of BOD, and then roll right into April 1st, starting those new workouts. And then again, like I said, I have not dove into this and understanding it enough. So hopefully if you have questions about that, we can talk. I think next week would probably be a good time to talk about that. But I do think like putting a focus on 21 Day Fix for this 3-week group would be good, just to kind of set like a basis too of like, you know, like, cause the prep week for 21 Day Fix is great. Like it's the best prep week out there is from that guide because it really breaks down, you know, like meal planning and prepping. But I will say in terms of like that challenge group guide, it kind of sucks. Like it's really old, and I mean, it's not the best challenge group guide. So I think when we break down those 3 weeks and like do the posts, I think it's just going to take a little bit more work to maybe go to like the Transform 21 and pull some things, but tailor it to 21 Day Fix. Or just kind of make up your own type of post, because like I can't think of it, like it's just not very good. Like it's maybe like a quote, like a card, and then like a quote, and that's like the post for the day. Whereas I think it's better to like, and that could maybe be where we tie in, you know, how we each had like a day for Transform 20. Maybe that's where like you have your day, and maybe that's your day to post, and you can go and see what the guide is for like Brittany's she always posts on Monday. So maybe like she looks at day 1, she's like, well, that's a pretty good post. Like I'll just use that, but then add something in there. Does that make sense? You guys getting, let me pull it up quick so I can show you. But I mean, that was just like one of the first challenge group guides they made, and it's just not nearly as good as what they've started turning into. Grow my business. Maybe they changed it. I guess I don't even know. Let me share my screen with you guys quick. So like the prep week is really good because, you know, it has like the typical like, and then this is some important things to know about 21 Day Fix, meal prepping. Like some of these articles are really, really good. How to use BOD. But see, like here, I mean, it's just super short and to the point, which is fine. But when you look at the Transform 21s and how there's so much information, so like I think these would be good, but then just to add to it, like something to get them to post about, to share, you know, like here, like that's great, but maybe some more, and there's a transformation type of thing. So I don't know if we want to do like weekly or if we want to just do like a daily post type of thing. I can't see Brittany, but Brittany, what do you think?
Okay, I'm thinking. I don't know. Like if I like how we have a week because you have that week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kind of scared that if we do a day that post won't be made at a certain time, so those people that are in the morning or something won't know what to do. I mean, I know they have their calendar, but it's always nice to have it up in the morning. And I mean, people can schedule it too, but I kind of feel like might be harder.
Yep. Well, and like this one, like, have you worked out outside? Yeah, it's Iowa. No, I have not. Like, so, you know what I mean? Like, this guide is just not the best. And so I can try to find, so it's almost like, I feel, because we won't have, well, we might, well, I was going to say we could put in stuff about the Ultimate Portion Fix, but I don't know if we'll have access to that stuff yet. But so whoever does week 1, week 2, week 3, it's just going to just know that it's going to take a little more effort than just like copy and paste this. Like you might have to dig into like some of the Transform 20 ones and share some good tips, or I mean, you have access
recipes. They have the Fixate recipes. You could focus a lot on that too.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
And there's only 3 weeks, so it's not like, I mean, we're going to need a lot. I have 4 weeks, including the prep week. So there's more of us than there are weeks.
Hang on one second. Yeah, I forgot about the prep week one. Oh, and like even clean week too. Like I'm sure there's some good things from there, or like 80-day obsession, just more information, I guess, than just. But yeah, Fixate. That's a good idea. I wonder if. And also, like on the Beachbody blog, I found one time that they have like some. That is Tyson. They have like some sample meal plans for like plan A, plan B on the Beachbody blog. So even just finding that stuff and sharing that. But I do like how right now with Transform 20, we have like it posted before 5:30. So if you want to work out at 5:30, you can join here, and post your workout below, that type of thing. I think we should keep that the same. Okay, put that in the bathroom. Back to bed, please.
It's a small shit.
Sorry. Okay. Any other thoughts on that? I know.
Well, I don't know. What do you guys think? I think we take whatever we decide on how we're going to break it up, and you just kind of make it your own. Because how many of you have done the 21-day fix? Anyone? This is going to be great. No.
Well, and it's just way different. I mean, it's different because, and granted, like with Transform 20, you're doing burn every single Monday, but this one, like you repeat the same weeks, so like in terms of talking about, like one day it could be like the question at the end could be like, what was your favorite move from today or whatever. But I do think I like that idea. Like with Fixate, I think maybe sharing a recipe or sharing something each day would be good. Like kind of tying in like, hey, here's a breakfast recipe. Here's a type of thing to add in more of that nutrition piece. I think that would probably be a good idea. I do. Okay. So maybe what we should do is maybe not tomorrow because with Fruit Punch launching and everything, but maybe Wednesday I will make a Google Doc and share it, and then we can sign up for times to post, shared meal plans. I think we should stick with that. And since it's not as long of a group and there's more coaches, maybe on Thursday we could have 2 sample meal plans shared. And then in that folder, that meal plan folder, we can make a separate folder. Like we have Transform 20 right now. Maybe we have a separate like 21-day fix folder. And then maybe one person can just do A and one person could do like B and just try to mix it up that way too. Even if you're not technically in category A, but you could just make one to fit with B. Or maybe even 3 plans a week, something like that, just to try and mix it up. Because I think that is a big thing, especially with a shorter program, is just to really try to focus in on the nutrition side and try to add some more in that way.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll do that. We'll get through fruit punch, and then Wednesday we'll kind of sign up for times, and like either Brittany or I can do prep week too. So then that gives us a little bit more time, and we can even touch on this next week too. Like go over it's kind of how we want it to go, but is that 3 weeks?
I can do prep week since you've got sick kids right now. I'll do prep week.
Okay.
I'll get that going.
Thanks.
It'll be a matter of time. I know my kids will be sick too, so I'll do it now.
They just keep sharing it back and forth.
Yeah, I'll do it.
If you didn't catch my live video from earlier, like watch 2 minutes of it, and it's like I was trying to do a video on meal planning, like, oh, here's how I set up my meal plan, and Cambry shit all over me and then threw up all over me. I was just like, well, end. We're a literal shit show over here. Oh, okay.
Before I do that, I know some people were inviting to any workout. Mm-hmm. We're just focused on 21-day fix, but they can do other ones.
I think so. I think so. And what I'll do is like, because I have people right now that are interested in doing Transform 20, and I'm going to put them in this group, and I'm just going to say, hey, we're kind of doing a 21-day fix focus, but like
the stuff applies.
I think so, because I think 21-day fix is that one program that really like is the umbrella to other programs. Like, I mean, the workout's the workout. It's really the nutrition that matters, and all the other programs really go towards that portion control anyway. So like if I have people doing Transform 20, I'm still going to have them in there, and then just be like, hey, it might say 21-day fix, but that's okay. Like you're doing, it all works the same.
Okay.
But just kind of that 21-day fix focus. Definitely. Okay. Awesome. And we'll just kind of like, yeah, let's just get through fruit punch, and then Wednesday come out, I'll make a Google Doc and share. And maybe if we want to do like that daily post type of thing, like we've been doing with Transform 20 too, if we want to add that in, we can figure that out too. Maybe talk a little bit about that and try to figure that out. So, but yeah, so I just wrote down that, so that 3 weeks, like the actual 3 weeks of workouts would go from March 4th to March 24th, and then we'd have a week, and then the new 21-day fix would come out for those people that qualify for that on April 1st. But let's just table that, and I will do my research this week on Ultimate Portion Fix, and we'll talk about that next week and stuff. So I just hasn't been on my mind. And all of a sudden I looked, I'm like, oh crap, it comes out the 4th. That's in 2 weeks. So, but we have some time. It's all right. Okay. Good there. I know some of you are probably like, what are they talking about? What's going on? But just know next group will start the 25th, and then you can invite people to there, add them in there, all that good stuff. Okay. With Fruit Punch tomorrow, with it launching, as soon as we get off this call, all the groups that we have open right now, I'm creating events in them. So that way, if people want to check it out, like then they can join that group that we have going. Tomorrow morning, I'll have a post go up. I'm not sure what time it's launching. It's probably sometime in the morning, hopefully. I haven't seen or heard of a time yet if they have announced it. But then tomorrow through Wednesday at 10 p.m., anybody that purchases a canister, the 40 serving canister or the 32 pack stick box, when your challengers, your customers or whatever, when they purchase, have them comment below. That post will go up tomorrow morning, and they will, all the names that are done by 10 p.m. Wednesday that have purchased, put their names all together, and I'll draw and give one of them a $25 gift card to Amazon, whoever purchases on there, however many we have. And then in the team page, I'll have a thread, and every time you sell one, comment there, and same thing. I'm going to give away a gift card to whoever sells the most Energize through tomorrow and Wednesday, 10 p.m. So just know on that. And then in the group, if they purchase the stack, so the Recover and the Energize, and they can get entered in twice. So with our customers, it'll be a drawing, but within our team and the coaches, it's whoever sells the most within that, whatever, 36-hour span or whenever it launches tomorrow. All right. And then I did have some questions on, can you change your HD order? I believe tomorrow you can. So I would assume you could anyways. Or I would just cancel your current HD order and then just reorder. So that's what I did from all my orders from January. I canceled them, and then I'm just going to reorder them tomorrow. So I've been trying to do that, like cancel and then order all together so I can save on shipping. So, or at least have combined shipping type of thing. So that's what I plan on doing tomorrow, is just kind of ordering all my stuff together with that fruit punch. So, all right. I think that was all for announcements wise I wanted to share. Then all I really wanted to just touch on too is I've been hearing, and just kind of open it up for questions too, but just a lot of comments on like feeling like you're having trouble like bridging the gap between like you invite people and they're interested, and then you start talking to them, and then like you kind of lose them. You could get that disconnect. And so I had a few of you like send me some screenshots of what you've been saying and like your conversations. And like I kind of laughed because I thought back to me like 2 years ago, and I was like, that was so me, like sending all the information, which is good, right? You want to send them the information, but like think about you, like when somebody sends you a ton of like information, like what do you do? Like most of the time for me, I just kind of like look at it and I'm like, okay. Like, but I was doing that too. Like I was doing that 2 years ago. Like somebody be like excited and want information, and you get super excited and you send them all this information, and then like nothing. And so I've tried different ways of like, sometimes I make a Google Doc. I'm like, here's all the information, like check it out. I've tried doing videos in the past. Like here's a video explaining what my challenge group is, like look over it, get back to me. But really what I've found is the best thing that works for me is to give a little bit of information, ask a question. Give a little bit of information, ask a question. And so then we go back and forth. And sometimes people go back and forth, and then they purchase. Sometimes if they don't go back and forth with me, they're not my person. Like they're not. So I've just learned like through that type of thing, like giving them some information, asking a question, and keeping that conversation going with them. I have a better chance of closing that deal, or closing this, however you want to look at it, like getting them signed up, versus like sending them a ton of information and then trying to check back with them. Or, you know, if we're going in this conversation back and forth, sometimes they don't respond, but that's because either I said something or they read something and they like misunderstood, or they realized it wasn't for them. But I just have better success when I kind of give them a little overview, ask a question, and then we kind of go back and forth. And I've done that whole like have scripts for every response and And I found that once I send them, like, especially with Transform 20, it worked well for Lift 4. And I started with 2B Mindset last year when they have those little promo videos, and I send them like, here's a few details, check out this clip. As soon as I can get them to watch that clip, I know that they understand what the program is. And then I can talk about like, well, here's our accountability group, and here's this. And they see it if they're watching the stories and they're seeing posts, like they kind of understand a little bit of what the group is. Or they ask questions, and then I can answer them. Sometimes, honestly, like I get on and I just voice message them. Like if they ask me a bunch of questions back, I'm like, okay, this person's interested. I'm just going to voice message them, because as soon as you start typing a whole bunch of stuff, even if they're super interested, I think it's human nature to like see a huge post and be like, okay, and like read a little bit and then skip it and then like get pulled away with kids and da 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 da. But when it comes to like talking about the price and talking about what the group is, like there's a ton of information. I get that. So one thing that has really worked with me with Transform 20 is just really trying to talk about the value before getting to the price. And if I am doing that and then somebody gets the price and they don't sign up, I'm like, okay, they didn't understand the value. Like I didn't explain something well enough. And I wish I could screenshot this conversation for you guys that I had with this gal. But I did voice messages to her. So like all you can see is her responses. But I misled her somehow, or she didn't understand. All of a sudden, like she was going to do the 160 Transform 20 pack. She wasn't going to get the step. I told her, she's like, money was tight. I'm like, okay, just go to Amazon, find a step. Like it's fine. All of a sudden she's like looking through the sign up and she's like, well, I don't want to pay $160 each month. And I'm like, you don't have to. Like I was trying to explain this to her and like somehow there was a disconnect, right? But what I found is like, if I just keep asking questions and they keep responding and they ask questions and we just kind of go back and forth, like it's better that way, and to like just have a conversation. So especially when it comes to like breaking down the price, I send those images and then I try to say like which one fits best for you, which one works best for you. And then, if they have questions, then I just break it down. I'm like, well, but really with those images, especially the Transform 20 ones, I haven't had a lot of issue. I mean, I've had people say obviously like, well, I can't afford that. But then look at that and turn it into how can you use that as a post and not like direct, like, $160 gets you this, but, like break down, BOD, $100 divided by 12 months, like you're paying $8 a month for workouts and you're working out 6 days a week. Like how much is that? Like my workout today cost me 20 cents. Like, did you work out today for 20 cents? Something like that. So turning those objections into posts. And I always think of Maria. I don't know if you guys, obviously Maria on the team, but she was one that she gave me a price objection over and over and over. And finally, like 2 days later, I made a post about it. And the next day she messaged me. She's like, okay, I'm in. So obviously like she's the unicorn, like that doesn't happen all the time, but like you keep getting those objections, keep those in your back pocket and turn it into a post in a way as well too. So hopefully that document that I shared with you yesterday or Saturday, hopefully that helped a little bit. But what I have found has worked the last month, last 2 months, really since Transform 20, has been like giving them some basic details. Then, I have a video quick. Do you want to check it out? Send them that clip. Let me know what you think of it. And then as soon as like I send them that video, then I message them the next day if they haven't responded. Hey, did you get to check it out? What health goals do you have? And then I really want them to watch that video so then I can get a response like, oh my gosh, that seems way too hard. I don't know if I can do that, and that type of thing. And like, I know Grace is on here right now and I think of her, like her and I went back and forth and we talked for back and forth. And I was like, and other people too, it's like, they're like, tell me honestly what you think of Transform 20. I was like, well, do you have an injury? Like, does your knee, like, does your back, does those things bother you? Because then I'm like, then that might not be the best for you. Like, you might want to try this. And so it's that getting that value and kind of getting them to trust you too. Like, if they don't know me, but we're talking about, have you had injuries? Do you enjoy this? Like, what are your actual goals? Like, if somebody says, I just really want to lose 5 pounds and tone up, awesome. Well, here's, from what I saw from the test group and these kind of things. And then with the challenge packs too, like I've had this a lot and I know a couple people mentioned it too. They were like, well, they just want to get the workouts, not the supplements, the Shakeology or whatever. And I'm like, you are literally going to pay more to get Transform 20 early access and BOD than you are to get the challenge pack, And so again, that just comes down to like you believing in yourself too. Like when I first started, if somebody was like, well, I just want the workouts, I was like, okay, awesome. Like here's 21 Day Fix. Like, let's do this. Nothing ever happened, right? But now I'm like, no, like you have to purchase the entire package to work with me. Like that's how it is. But that's just the confidence. That's believing in yourself and believing in what you have to offer. So that's a big thing with it too. And I think with the price objections or just any objections, like that's going to happen. But if you believe in yourself and your confidence as your ability to help them, then you won't settle for less than the challenge pack, right? So that takes time, that takes belief in yourself, but just know that that's what you should expect, is that for somebody to work with you, like don't accept less than a challenge pack, because you have a lot to offer. And what they're getting is insane. Like the value they are getting is insane, especially when you break down $8 a month versus if they're doing, Transform 20, you break that down 6 days a week, that type of thing. So, all right, what questions do you guys have, or what are you running into that I can try and help you give some examples or things that I would say or do? I think a big thing is if you start typing a response and you're like, wow, this is getting really long, I don't know, I would just hop on and do a voice message. And I know sometimes people don't listen to that, but if they're not going to listen to a minute voice message from you, like, for me, like, especially when I talk about the price, like I'll send them that. And then if they have questions or concerns, like I'll just hop on and be like, send a voice message. I'll be like, hey, I know like it seems like a lot up front, but seriously, break it down. Like you're getting Beachbody On Demand and all the nutrition programs with each program for an entire year. You get to work with me for an entire year. You get 30 meals with that pack. It's basically like 80% off to get those meals. The support of our groups, the support of our talent groups, like for me, a big thing for me is like my voice. Like if they can hear my voice, then that's a big thing. So.
I think I just have a lot of dead air. Like I will message them and I'll kind of give a little bit, but not like a ton of information because I don't want to overwhelm them. And then I'll get either I'm not interested or yeah, I've heard of that, I don't want that, or nothing.
Okay. So when they say I'm not interested, what I will sometimes say, and not necessarily that I'm going to change their mind, but I'll say, okay, so what, or be like, no, that's no worries. That's totally fine. I get it. It's not for everybody. Do you mind me asking what doesn't interest you about it? Because then they can say, whatever they say. And I always like, if they say, well, like the group things don't work for me, or like, I don't like home workouts or whatever. Like I'll respond back with like, oh yeah, I know, I totally get it. Like I used to feel the same way. But then like with my kids, like it saves me so much time and I can show up every day no matter what, blah, blah, blah. Do they ever come around and be like, oh yeah, you're right. Like I love that I can, no, not like hardly ever. But then I know in the back of my head, all right, this is something I'm not talking enough about. So I need to talk about that like in a post. So when I get an objection, a price objection, or like I like to work out at the gym, or I don't have time or whatever, like then I know like in the next couple of days, that's something I need to talk about. Because a lot of times I take objections as, well, it's something I'm not talking enough about, and it's something that is a misconception or something somebody's not understanding it. If they say, and I've been getting this a lot personally, and I know it's because I don't talk about Shakeology enough, but I've been getting a lot of, well, I've tried it in the past, I didn't like it, that type of thing. And I'll be like, well, how? And so then I just ask questions like, well, what kind did you have? Like, how did you make it? Or, if they say, well, I tried 21 Day Fix, it wasn't for me. And I'll be like, well, hey, were you in a group with your coach? Like, were you set up with a coach? So I just try to like dig and find out what didn't work for them, and then try to say like, well, this is what this is what I can offer you. Like this is, because a lot of people I think did, 2 years ago buy 21 Day Fix, do it themselves, and, obviously didn't stick with it, or the group side of it. And so anytime I have somebody say like, I tried this in the past, it didn't work, I'll be like, well, were you plugged into a group with your coach? And a lot of times they'll be like, no, I didn't even have a coach, that kind of thing. So I try to go into that. And then with no response, don't get too, if you initially invite them and follow up and you still don't get a response, don't hang your head on that, because people are not glued to Messenger like we are. A lot of people don't even have the Messenger app. And for a while, personally, I shut off my notifications for Messenger, and it was awesome, but then it was terrible at the same time. And some people don't even have the app. They don't have the notifications for it. So a lot of times they don't see that. So don't get too hung up on people not responding. But I know some of you have been telling me too, like you'll invite them, you'll give them some information, you'll kind of be talking, and then they'll ghost you. Like they won't say anything. And that happens. I wish I could tell you like that never ever happens. But for me, it's kind of like I'll invite them. We'll talk a little bit, they'll ghost me. And then like the next week or the next time I have a group, then I'll just reach out to them again and just be like, hey, I know it wasn't a good time. And I can tell you, like, some people, they still ghost me. And then all of a sudden, like, something just clicks and they change it. But if you're really struggling, just like screenshot your conversations and throw them in our thread too. Like if you're like, hey, would you keep following up with this person? Like, how would you respond to this person? And a lot of times like the no's and the not interested and the ghosting, like that's not on you. Like you are just doing your job and trying to share this gift, like share this group, this program. Like that's not on you, that's on them. So don't take that so personally when somebody is not interested or not right now, or, because think about you. Like, did you say yes the first time too? That type of thing. So I always try to think about that as well too.
Can I add something?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so I've been doing this for a while, but like not actively doing it. But if you show up every day, like a lot of you are new coaches, if you keep showing up, those people that you're talking to now, they're going to be watching you. They're going to keep seeing your transformations and stuff, and then they're eventually going to reach out. I've had like recently a lot of people that I messaged in the way beginning, they ghost me. They started interacting on some of my posts, and now they're in. Or maybe they said, no, I would never do that. And a year and a half later, they're finally in. So just stay consistent. Like you're going to have those that hop in right away no matter what. And then you're going to have those that are on the sideline, like maybe you were, and then finally go into it. So just stay consistent. Don't let that frustrate you, even though it might be. Just keep posting because they're going to watch you. They're waiting for someone to say, oh, you're going to stop. Like I used to sell lip sense or whatever. Nothing against that. But I did that for like 5 months, then I quit. Okay, so they're waiting to see if you're going to stick something out. And if you do, I've been doing this a little over 2 years now. And now people are like, oh, so don't give up. That's all I have to say.
And I think too, a big thing is just to really pull inward and focus on your journey, like your transformation. Because like I always compare it to like being a mom. Like you can't be the best for your kids if you're not the best for yourself, and you can't be the best coach to others if you're not focusing and working on yourself. And every time like I have a surge in my business or I have a surge in coaches, it's when I'm just full and invested on myself and my journey and really going there. So I know a lot of you are newer coaches, or like you're kind of in that middle of your journey too. Like just really pour into that. And exactly what Brittany said, like, especially stories, like stories are huge, you guys. Like, I mean, figure out a routine for you, like watch a couple coaches, and then just do a routine for you. Like I have the same morning routine every single morning, and I post my stories the exact same way, but that's consistency, and people see that, and people see, and they continue to watch that. I can't tell you, I probably get one message a day, like, tell me how you make your Brussels sprouts. Like, because that's what people know me for. Like, so that's what you want to strive for, is for people to know you for those type of things. And just like Brittany said too, I've had probably in the last 6 weeks, 2 months for sure, like same thing, like half the people that have signed up with me have been people from months, years down the way that are just now like, and they're watching and they're trying their own thing and they're trying to figure themselves out. But if you're that person that's always there, you're always consistent, you're always showing up. And that's where like that posting all the time, like don't get down on having 2 or 3 or 4 likes. Like that was me last year. I had barely any traction on any of my posts last year. And this year it's still kind of like up and down. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to share my workout every single day. I'm going to share something about coaching every single day. I'm going to share my kids every single day, and that type of thing, because they see that. And they might not always like or comment. Don't get hung up on that. Just really focus on being that consistent person, being that person that you get known for posting your workout picture every single day, that kind of thing. So
it's funny that you say that, because I've always been known for like going to the gym. And I started bringing my step to the gym. And I had all these girls that were in the back, and they were asking me about it. And like, oh, are you doing the beach body? And so I've actually had people at the gym notice that I'm not coming as much and actually kind of following my journey a little bit more, which is okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not hung up on going to the gym like I was. I've actually relaxed more to do it more at home and let them see what I'm doing here, which was a big step for me.
Side note, Gracie told me several times, I love the gym. I'm not going to stop going to the gym. And then like, was it last week you posted, you're like, I love working out at home. I was like, so she's like the prime example of like, you just be confident. And I told her, I was like, that's awesome. Like do it. You can do it at the gym. Like, here's how you can do it. But I think like, even for you too, like you have that little edge of, well, I can do my stuff at the gym and I can do my stuff at home. Like you definitely want to capitalize on that and talk about that. Cause like, I don't have that luxury. Like I don't go to the gym. I can't go to the gym. Like I don't have that. But my thing is like, I'll have people that'll be like, they like to go to the gym, but it's snowy out or whatever and they can't get there. Well, I can while my kids are sick and all this stuff, you know? So it's like, whatever your situation, just like talk it up, take advantage of that. And again, those people that are at the gym that see you bringing your step, like they're watching and they're like, oh gosh, she's doing Beachbody and the gym. Like, I didn't think you could do them both. I thought they were separate, you know, type of thing. And with that too, like the meal plans, like if somebody says, well, I have a gym routine or I have a personal trainer, awesome. Like, are they giving you meal plans? Do you have nutrition programs you're following? You know, or like even one gal, I'll like even ask them like, how much do you pay for your personal trainer? Like, do you mind me asking? You know, and then they say that and I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, and just like, for me, it's like just interesting to know, but then save that in your back pocket. And that's a post. Like, would you rather pay $40 a week for your trainer or, you know, that type of thing. So,
Right.
Yeah. What else? What else can I help you guys with? Biggest thing I think is just that consistency, like showing up. And then just I read this today in my personal development. I was sitting here tonight, like and it was like, you know, that confidence that you instill in yourself or belief in what you have to offer as a coach and from this side of it too, but just to really know like what you're giving is a gift. And as soon as you think of it that way, reaching out to people doesn't seem so scary, or inviting somebody to the coaching opportunity doesn't seem scammy or whatever, like you're telling yourself when you're nervous to invite or you're getting that price objection. And that's how I feel of it too. Like I get disappointed when people give me a price objection but I'm like, you know what, this is the gift and I'm going to give this gift to the people that need it, the people that want it, the people that are willing to invest in it. And the biggest thing, and I have this conversation with my husband all the time with price, because it just frustrates me to no end, but I'm like, you know what, I'm the exact same way. Like all like other hair products or facial, like face wash, like there's nothing wrong with those things, but that's not where I want to invest my money, right? I want to invest my money in nutrition and Fruit Punch Energize tomorrow and like all those kind of things. So everybody, it's a lot has to do with priorities. You know, like my focus is on my health and my nutrition, and I will buy $2 face wash from Walmart. That's fine. That doesn't bother me. But I'm going to spend the money on a superfood to put into my body to make me feel better, you know, that kind of thing. So just think about that too. Like if they're telling you, oh, you know, $3 a day is too expensive, then their priorities are just lined up somewhere else. But just keep that in your back pocket to use as a post type of thing. So that's the biggest thing too, is to use those to your advantage, like to use those as things to talk about more, you know, and hitting those objections, those pain points. So awesome. Okay. So what I would say moving forward this week is, you know, we have a group coming up. So this is the time to really follow up with people from January. People that gave you the price objections around the holidays, like follow up with those people. But then when you have a conversation or you feel like you're not saying the right thing, just screenshot it and throw it in the thread and say, hey, like, how would you respond to this? And every time somebody does that, like everybody is kind of giving their like, well, I would say this, I would say that. And so there's so much collaboration. Do that. Like just screenshot your conversation, throw it in the thread, if I have some good examples this week, I'll try to share them with you. But just go confidently knowing that like this 3-week group is going to be amazing. Like you're going to get on the right track for spring. Like it's right around the corner, focusing on that type of thing. But just believe in you and what you have to offer, and not even like 21 Day Fix and Shakeology and that, like just believe in you. Like for me, it's been a lot of talking about our group, like our groups and starting Transform 20 and doing the workouts in the morning and just like the community that we've built in these groups. Like that's what I've been talking up, because I feel like that's really been a game changer for us and our team and those groups too. So just talking about that, even that community aspect and that accountability piece type of thing. So, all right. Have a great night. I have a lot of shit to do. Hopefully not cleaning up anymore tonight. But anyways, so just pick one of the threads and throw your, I know we have like 20 million threads going, but just post those in there. Is Energize promotion just the people? Yeah, anyone can buy Energize tomorrow. Anybody can. Once they do, yeah. Okay, awesome. All right, have a great night, you guys. Any questions, just throw them in one of the threads and I'll get back to you, or somebody will get back to you and all that stuff. So have a good week. And Wednesday, look for a doc with the information on 21 on the group next week. And if you need that group, I'll share the link again. But all right, have a good night.